she carry silver dagger. Lady never stagger to cut me down. Oh no, help me, darling, please.
All right.
Welcome to the Freedom Convoy podcast. I actually saw the funniest joke today. What was it? It was Trudeau. It was like a The Onion news article headline.
Yeah.
Trudeau takes a hard stance against Russia. Says they need vaccine passports before they can enter Ukraine. It was pretty funny. It was much better executed than that. Or more well worded.
Or how he just happens to get a vote.
That's no dice.
There we go. Just don't touch it.
Don't touch nothing.
Okay, we're good. Nobody move.
Nobody
Yeah,
move.
I've seen, or it's just super convenient for him to. I mean, he didn't catch COVID, but he had a close contact.
It's so perfect.
And he's gonna have to isolate for the weekend.
And even though like
the Freedom Convoy,
the Ontario guidelines say if you test negative or you're asymptomatic, you don't have to isolate. But he's like, I don't think I'll ride out the weekend. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, though.
it's crazy. This is Canadian history, man, in the making.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of
World
neat.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, right? I mean, I can't see any other protests that's bigger than this right now.
Dude, there's been some pretty big ones in like Montreal. I don't know if you've seen. I saw on Twitter like thousands of people walking down the streets, but this might be bigger. Like it could also be not as big as they're making it out to be.
Oh, this is. I think it's gonna shut down Ottawa.
Sweet.
It's. Well, I think it's actually gonna. Well, my opinion a little bit is I think it's gonna cause some chaos because if it becomes gridlocked, if there's that many trucks going there and it becomes gridlocked where they can't supply grocery stores and
or
gas
think about
stations.
even if it's the only thing that's kind of weird about that is they wouldn't be able to get like an ambulance in and out if they needed to.
Yeah, that too. So, but they claim that they have it all planned out, that there's going to be personnel.
Yeah. They're doing a pretty good job. Like on the Instagram, they're saying like, no, keep it peaceful. Don't be an idiot. Don't try and storm the Capitol or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and that's another issue too, is that with the GoFundMe link, the government is restricting the funds. So basically, all those truck drivers that went over there, as of right now, will not be able to be reimbursed because the government is deeming it as a terrorist movement.
Yes, that's nonsense. But
so
yeah, it's funny though to see that someone posted up the Liberal their fundraising for the first quarter, or I don't know what they're fundraising for the year or whatever, and it's like $35,000. I don't know, maybe it's more than that, but the trucker convoy has way more donors and way more money than like the Liberal Party fundraise.
do you guys know what it's actually at?
7 million.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like a couple days ago it was like 6 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's climbing quick. It's next level. I hope it. I don't know. I hope it works out. Like,
where's your truck, Keelan?
Yeah, I thought you should be out there. You and Hayden.
No, man. I gotta get you guys your beef, and Hayden's gotta get you guys your gas.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody's got to keep the world going.
You're the grease ball who's undercutting everybody on strike right now.
Yeah. When the world pulls back, that's when you attack.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it goes good.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because the news is already starting to kind of make people look a little shifty. Like
they're twisting it a little bit.
Well, they're interviewing all the people that are just look a little loony. You know?
They see some guy with a Confederate flag and they're gonna go interview him.
Like they had some guy walking around like in coveralls, but they were wrapped around his waist, and he was shirtless. It was just like they were putting all these like whack. Well, I don't want to say whack jobs, but like they're putting all these people that are
all
just
these Keelan Meston types up there.
All these nutty folks on TV and just making it look like
it's because it's for entertainment. It's not news, man. It's entertainment.
Oh my God.
They got to get views somehow.
I hope that's that's true, right? I hope that's all it's for, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think our news is as bad as the States.
Didn't they do one like 2 years ago or 3 years ago for the oil thing?
Truckers?
Yeah, there was a convoy that went all the way out there when
For the Keystone pipeline or something, yeah.
Yeah, or the Trans-Canada one, whatever that one was.
I don't remember it being I don't know. I vaguely remember something, but
I don't remember how big it was, but they're like people drove all the way out there from here.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, think about how many people we know that are like stoked on it, but then how committed do you have to be to drive all the way across the country?
Oh,
it's insane.
yeah. And to like slow roll through northern Ontario.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like
in the winter too.
2 weeks right there.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed that they made it there as quick as they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For like, yeah, they're barely moving. But I also heard from a couple people that they're cruising at like a good speed too. So I really don't know.
Well, they're not being GPS tracked by the company right now. They can can haul ass, drive all night.
Yeah, that's true. No 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
No logbooks.
Yeah, the logbooks, the online logbook or e-logbooks, those are crazy.
Pull that mic up a bit, Todd.
The ones that track like everything.
Yeah.
Like every mile on the truck.
Yeah, shuts your truck off if you're over hours.
That's kind of scary.
To me, that's way too sketchy in Canada.
Yeah.
The e-logs, especially in BC, like if you're in a no service zone and your truck's just like, nope.
Yeah, you're in the middle of Puckatawagan.
Yeah, Rogers Pass or something.
But no, I think they give you half an hour grace.
Yeah,
so
trying to pull out somewhere.
Yeah, to find a safe area. But even still, like there's some sections where you can't, like some sections of the Rogers Pass. You're in Rogers Pass for a good hour.
Yeah, or if it's like they're stopping the road for construction, you gotta sit for an hour, and then by the end of that hour, you're running out of hours to drive.
Yeah. But I think a lot of especially the bigger companies, they account for stuff like that now. Like they a lot of them are all team driving and all that. So it
seems like team driving is the only way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I hope the Freedom Convoy works out. Well, who knows? It'll be interesting to see what comes of it. So
yeah, I don't know, but all right. What else?
What else is going on? What's new in your? You're always asking everybody what's up, Jared. What's new in your world? Don't you got some new stuff going on?
Yeah, I guess it is
brought this up. Yeah,
public knowledge nowadays. I guess we're having a child at some point.
This sounds real exciting.
I took Keelan's advice and decided to try it out. So yeah, we're having a little Caillou.
Dang. Yeah. When can we expect them or her?
Sometime around mid-year.
Mid-year.
July.
Mid-year when the sun is at its highest point.
Around the summer solstice.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, July.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. I don't know.
You feel like a changed man? What?
A little bit. I feel good. I don't know.
Yeah. It hasn't sunk in.
I don't know. It doesn't really. It still doesn't. Yeah. It still feels like. I still feel like, am I really capable of raising a child? But I'm sure we'll get there when it's time. I don't know. Figure it out.
Maybe you're more than capable. You ever think about that?
More than capable.
Maybe you were built for it. You know?
That was my life purpose.
Jared has kind of taken on a bit of like dad life in the last couple of years. He's dropped the young, foolish ways we used to have.
Yeah, he's getting into like he drinks whiskey out of a real cup now, and he's into smoking meat.
Smoking meat. He's always got to be the barbecue master.
He just like keeps piling dogs into the house. I bet a dog will come before the baby does.
No chance. Zero chance of that.
He's always walking around in his white tank top, all greasy hands everywhere.
I gotta go work in the garage.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. It'll be exciting. So what, your child is 3 months now? 2 months?
Almost 3 months. He's 2.5 months, I guess they call it.
How many days or whatever?
Counting weeks, days, and hours.
I'm not into counting the days and weeks. I'd have to sit and think about it, but he's almost 3 months. He's doing good. He's making strides this last little bit here. He's the first time that like he recognizes you and smiles back at you for real, like he knows who you are.
It registers,
Pretty cool.
Pretty sweet,
and then every day you get that now, so it's exciting to go home and see him smile and giggle and laugh at you a bit, even though I don't even think he can clearly see who you are. It's just kind of sound, smell, and a bit of sight familiarity.
little bit of subconscious going on.
But yeah, it's exciting. It's fun. We're planning on leaving him at home for the first time tomorrow with Grandma for a few hours. So we'll see how Victoria handles that. We'll see how I handle it and how he handles it. But yeah, he's been good, man. He's growing fast. He's a smart cookie already. Like he's catching on to things even for a 2-month-old, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Something you don't really think about though, like how like like Victoria's got to leave the baby for the first time. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Even with this.
She's done a couple like small little errands while I've watched the baby, but it's like an hour or two at most. So this will be at least a half a day. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, he's ready though. It's time.
I'm sure Grandma's stoked.
Oh yeah, she's excited.
She's prepping all night.
There's not many reasons that Grandma wants to get up early. Except for this one, like it's hard to get her out of bed, before 9 o'clock some days. Yeah, I don't blame her. We all like to sleep in. Mm-hmm. But when I told her to come watch the kid, and I said, you gotta get up early. Like we're leaving at 6:30, 6:45, right? No problem. I'll be there. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, my mom's gonna be my mom was so excited when we told him. We told him at Christmas, and oh my God, it was insane.
The old man excited, or
he shook my hand. He
went a sign of respect.
He went over, he hugged Dom, and then he like looked at me and shook my hand. I'm like, all right, there we go.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He's like, you're getting your payback, you little shit. Here it comes. He's just a big grin on his face.
That's good. We keep having dreams that it's a girl, so I think it's a girl.
There you go.
We'll find out in February. I guess fucking it's pretty soon here.
I feel like there's something to that, like you're just like, your intuition just.
But you're weird. You're wanting a girl, aren't you? You've said that before.
I do. Either way is fine, but I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have a girl. I don't have to worry about them doing shithead things like we did.
Yeah, I don't know. They do other shithead things.
Yeah, but at least they're not gonna fly off.
They're just sneakier about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm thinking more like the shithead things we did when we were like swinging by a crane and doing stupid shit like that, throwing cats.
I still think we were safe about that stuff.
I don't think we were at all. We could have easily died. What are you talking about?
I almost beheaded myself on a go-kart.
But you didn't.
And then, like years later, almost lost my leg in the same area on a different go-kart.
Yeah, we did stupid shit, man. Like that. Thinking about those, like, now that I know how those cranes actually function, going east, west, and then using it like a swing and swinging up 15, 20 feet in the air. It's so easy for it to come off the sheave.
Oh yeah,
the rope could come off the sheave at the top, and it could just drop at any time.
We weren't swinging them that hard.
Oh, dude, I swung that thing as high as it could go. We were swinging. We were easy 15, 20 feet off the ground.
Jeez.
I got a question for you, though.
Yep.
So you don't want basically a replica of yourself, but do you want a replica of yourself dating your daughter?
Yeah, sure. Because I'm not going to care as much as if he dies.
Wow, that's rough.
Well, it's not. No, I'm just a joke. But I just feel like I'd worry so much because I know the shit we did, and I feel like I'd be like, I don't want to like control what my kid does, and I don't want to be like worried about them getting hurt or getting arrested or something stupid.
Yeah.
That's just my only thought. I don't know. I'm sure kids these days like to play Fortnite.
Well,
anyway.
maybe you got to move out to the boonies and just let them run rampant.
That's what I think. I think if I'm gonna have kids, he's gonna have to be a free range kid.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like go out there and
put a shot collar on him.
Yeah.
So he goes outside the.
Just put a tracker on him and when the sun's going down, I'll put the thing on. You'll see like a red blinking light out in the field, right? And then you'll have to go get him.
Free range, beef fed,
dirt, grass fed.
Yeah. I'd be more nervous about having a rowdy kid in the city than
that's true.
Out in the sticks or out in the country.
I don't know. I do feel like kids these days are different though.
I mean, when I was a kid, I lit my parents' hedges on fire. And it's probably good that I was out in the country when I did that, because if I let the
fire department would be there.
Lit the hedges on fire in town, that'd be.
Oh shit! Todd set himself on fire out of my place back in the day.
Yeah.
Almost set Matt's van on fire too.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't matter what if you have a guy or a boy or a girl, maybe you just got to relocate, depending on how they turn out.
We'll see how it goes.
We got to get this little brat out of the city. He's gonna.
I don't know. I don't know.
Never teenage boys out in the country seem to get into a lot of shit.
Yeah. I think it goes either way, right? Like inner city or whenever you're bored, right? Man, that's why I think with the boy it's easy. You throw him in sports, like you keep him busy.
I think the sports
sports is cute.
Yeah.
But small town shit is messed up.
Yeah.
Like there's some really like a lot of drunk driving.
I feel like it's maybe got to have a balance of both, because if you get too far out of town, then it gets a little sketchy. But then I don't know.
I feel like Chestermere, Okotoks, Airdrie, those are like Strathmore's a little too hillbilly. There's a lot of shitheads, rednecks out there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's a tough journey, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess don't know, but I can only assume.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. I'm sure I'm just thinking of every worst case scenario. It'll be fine. Mm-hmm. I'm also worried about like if my kid races the way I rode the way I did, but I was no technique, descended every jump, smashed my face off the handlebars.
Do you want me to train him?
Yeah, you can train him.
All right, I'll train him.
Yeah, well, that was the thing.
I'm pretty.
Think
timid.
of a guy who trained you.
So nobody. my dad, which never rode, right?
Yeah, so.
And it was never like technical advice. It was just like, oh, you got to come into the corners faster.
Yeah.
You need a timid fella to.
I just think
guide the way.
I would get way more into moto if I had a girl, because you see the girls race and they're all the top ones. They're really they never get sketchy. They're really in control. They have good technique.
They're too smart.
Yeah, too smart. That's it.
It just seems like a more chill, relaxed way to race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it gets heated and intense. And I just feel like the women just totally have a way of keeping it way more chill.
Well, it's just like as soon as they get on the track, they just spread out.
That, and just even they're all more worried about having friends in the pits than racing, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know. All those top level, as long as the females seem to have good technique, they never do anything stupid, or they never get all sketchy or do anything like that.
Well, we gotta get a female racer in here. We're hoping to get Lexi.
We're trying.
To show soon. She could tell us what it's like.
We tried to get her tonight, but no dice.
Maybe one day.
She'll come on. She said she would, but she said she was nervous about it. But she would come on when she's done her she's doing a little home reno right now, ripping out the floor. We'll get there when it's time.
Get the female phenom.
Yeah. But what do you guys think about the Supercross? I don't know about you guys, but it's been making me want to ride so bad. I'm going to Raymond tomorrow.
Are you?
I'm going tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting out on the fat bike, but not on the dirt bike yet.
My bike's loaded up and ready to go.
You have studded tires, or
no? It's bone dry.
No way.
Yeah, I saw somebody was out there ripping the other day.
Charlie and Brandon Kowalczyk were out there today.
Oh yeah. Crazy.
Said it was they said it was smooth and dry, but it's fun. So I'm going.
Crazy.
Thanks for the invite, bro.
Oh my good God, Gunderson, dude! I texted you 3 times,
and I texted you back.
2 days later,
my
you said maybe.
My RSVP.
Let's go. What are you working tomorrow? Or what?
I don't think so.
Let's go.
I gotta be back for a birthday party.
What time?
That's about it.
What time?
I think 7. So.
Yeah, I gotta be back by 5. So I'm heading out pretty early, I think.
So Keelan's excuse does not work today.
There's never an excuse for dirt bikes.
How's your AX track looking? Looking like it's pretty ripe, or what?
Looks like you could ride it. Maybe I have to plow a few snowy sections, but
dude, just like the way the roads are, just those piles of ice on the sides are gnarly.
Yeah, it's bad.
And just one patch like that on a track is just not for me right now.
You gotta. It took me 20 minutes to get out of the alley today. It's
dude,
like a skating
it's a sheet.
rink.
Yeah. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. That's why everybody's stoked when it gets super warm in the middle of winter. I was like, I just know this icy shit is gonna be here. I'm gonna break an elbow or something.
Yeah, no shit. I've been running with those whatever those cleat things are, but I wore them right off.
Oh, really?
2-3 runs. right down to
How
the
long
bone.
were those runs? More 50K runs or what?
30K.
You ran a 30?
I ran a 30. I ran a half marathon 21. I ran
How long you take you to do that?
A 30?
Yeah.
I don't know, 2 hours or something. 2.5. Yeah, it's probably more than that.
Damn.
You made the half marathon?
I did the half marathon.
You finished it.
Oh yeah.
40?
No,
half
full marathon's 42.
Oh.
I did the 21 is half marathon.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's to like 25 miles is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Or the 30 is when you were trying to do the.
I was gonna try and do it, but dude, I was wrecked. My leg, I got like on that stretch down Bow Bottom. I was like, I got to the end of Fish Creek. I ran all the way up to 37th, or I guess Stony now. Ran all the way back through Fish Creek, all the way down to Bow Bottom, and I was gonna run around like down to the Bow River and around, and it would have been put me pretty close. But I got to Bow Bottom and my legs were like seizing up. I could barely move. So I like ran up Bow Bottom, and then I got to those stairs. I was like crawling up the stairs.
Did you take any water with you?
No.
Water's with pussy.
Well, I'm not gonna run with a water bottle in my hand the whole time.
No, you gotta
Now I have the fanny pack thing with the
fanny
two
pack,
little water
yeah.
bottles. Yeah,
There
I
you
got that
go.
thing now. So
So you probably could have made it. If
See,
you had
full,
water.
full dad mode, fanny pack, everything now.
Yeah.
Dude, and you got to get those Nike Zooms, the ones that are like illegal and they win all the Olympics in.
Yeah,
You got to get those shoes.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, so they put like a carbon fiber shank in the
Oh,
shoe, and it
little
like
extra
gives you a little more
bounce to
energy.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's like
Nice.
a kind of like a
almost bionical man at that
yeah,
point.
there's like a
That's
big
illegal, eh?
discussion
Yeah.
about this shoe
Having a
in the running world.
stiff sole.
That should be an argument in any Olympic sport or professional sport. Is the technology allowed in the sport, right? Like that's
That's the thing.
becoming the most serious. It's as integral as like or more than
Like-
performance enhancing drugs, right? Like a certain type of equipment can give you such an edge that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know they
Yeah.
have to make something illegal
Like-
or ban it because it's just
Like our ski
Or
jump.
just or allow it for everybody.
Our
or
ski jump
just
was
allow
obsolete, though.
innovation.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like they're jumping so far now they can't even use our stuff.
Yeah, the tech has gotten so good.
Same goes with the motocross world too. Like, what are we gonna do with electric bikes?
Dude,
450s have
like, we
outgrown
talk
supercross
about-
tracks supposedly. Like,
We talk
I
about
believe that.
slowing the sport down constantly, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah. But yeah, I got to work on my technique before I can do a
Yeah,
full
yeah.
marathon.
I bet you did a lesson or something. It'd probably help.
I've been even like watching YouTube videos, and then I did a 15K the other day. Just like slowed. I thought I was like slowing myself down, just not to heel strike, because like that actually, because if you heel strike, your impact's going
You're
straight to your knee,
Pushing away.
yeah.
and your impact's going straight to your knee. So if you land on your forefoot, you have your ankle to absorb it and your knee to absorb it. And actually, I ran a faster 15K than I did before.
Yeah. And that's just one little detail, right?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't even like it was easier too. And
That's
I
like touring. Touring. You probably figured all the weird things out. How weird it feels.
Oh, our
your
first
first gig,
is,
right?
Yeah.
All the little things to make your kit and everything go faster is huge.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
on when you have all that gear skiing.
Even if
Yeah.
you don't have like touring specific stuff, like loosening up your boots, like changing. Well, I guess for split board, like changing your high back and
Yeah.
yeah, all the little details. Hiking your pants all the way up.
Yeah, dude. Like you don't realize that like little bit of tight spot right in
Yeah.
the crotch, like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
stops like who knows how many, maybe ends up being 2 inches every step.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing as cycling too. You see so many people that like don't keep their feet flat when they're cycling.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And like they're all quads, just pushing with their quads.
Yeah. It's hard to I can't think of like specifics in moto. They
It's
all
a-
seem to just correlate
They're-
together.
Yeah, there's so many little things in moto, and
Yeah.
everyone rides the bike so differently. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not really the same
It
thing.
is funny how like a fat old pro, like, guys, he's probably not that fat, but I'm gonna use Josh Hill as an example. Kind of just racing and can go stupid fast, and because he's so talented and rides so freely, he can moto pretty good for
Yeah.
quite a while, despite
yeah.
probably being in like,
Not that good a shape.
Yeah.
And he kind of came off the couch.
yeah, he's like off the couch racing Supercross. So
But the
Like-
way like his technique in using the bike
Yeah.
is that's why he can do it, right? Like, not every old fat pro could do that. Like, who's some hammerhead guy that is just twist throttle, point shoot, like
Rhino, but he is built like a brick shit house, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if he wasn't built that way, Rhino could not ride at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Like Villapoto. I think
Yeah.
Villapoto would be a good example. He was a bit more powerhouse than technique, right? Like, he's just hammer on the throttle,
steer with the rear,
right?
yeah.
I don't think he could go out and
He probably could, but
those guys are also talented. At that stage they're also talented
Yeah.
that they could all do it, right?
It's hard to pick a specific guy, but I know what you're saying. Like, they can just, some of these guys can just finesse their way. Like, I bet Stu could still go and finesse his way around a track pretty damn good.
They just wouldn't get tired because of how they ride the bike.
Yeah.
Not tired. I don't know.
For them, toning it down 20% to like be able to ride good is still flying, right?
Yeah.
That seems to be like the difference between like the top 10 guys in Supercross and then the 10th to 20th guys. Like, the guys top 10 look like they're using the bike to their advantage.
Yeah.
Whereas the guys behind
just
that
fighting it.
And even like when you ride it and you talk to like other people that ride it, just the little like tips you pick up on, like running a high idle or like using your clutch to your advantage just to keep the momentum up. And
because like you ride, it's hard to even grasp the concept when you watch it on TV how tight everything is, right? You go to ride a section and it is like every feature feels like you're hitting a wall. And
I was just thinking about that today. I was watching some of the San Diego, I can't remember who I was watching ride. I think it was actually Dino, his video. And I was like, man, it looks so smooth and buttery, just like float. But like you said, you go out on that track.
Like every face is super
straight up and down. The bottoms of every transition are, square edge, janky. Like, when you're on the track, it definitely doesn't compare.
No, what they make it look like is not what it is.
No, it's so different.
Well, and those top guys, like, they run some of them are starting to run like softer suspension in Supercross, but for the most part, most of them are running like stupid stiff suspension.
Yeah.
But they run the spec tires that they're so plush that they get like a little bit of plushness out of the tires, so they don't really have to sacrifice too much in the suspension department. But then like the privateers are running, for the most of them are all running production tires, which are like so damn rigid that they kind of have to run softer suspension so they don't get so much feedback. And then it looks like they're just like struggling to hit those steep and aggressive features.
Yeah.
So they're still running spec tires, the top guys?
For 100%.
I thought they kind of ditched the whole spec tire deal.
Nope. It's the same tire, different compound.
Yeah.
No
I thought
oil.
they kind of ditched that because it was
cheating.
Not cheating, but just
a little unfair.
It's really good, but they don't last.
I don't know why they don't sell them. Like,
charge
really.
$300 a tire. People will buy them.
Yeah, exactly.
Some mini dads will buy the shit out of some spec tires.
To at least have it for your races, that'd be sweet. But I mean,
I think they're hard to store.
Maybe it's
they don't have oil in, they don't store well.
But that's why you gotta spend $300-$400 for one, right? Is because you have to pay for 5 of them.
You gotta order them, right?
Here's the problem where like a dealer brings them in, they sit on the shelf for 3 months, and then so one person goes and buys them, and then they're garbage. That's probably the reason.
For sure. Yeah.
Even if you charge $300, they're still going to be garbage.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even.
Well, it depends what the cost on the tire is, right? Like for them to make it affordable, the tire would have to be like a $50 tire that they're selling for $350, so they can throw away 3 of those tires every month when they go bad. Or you say you got to buy 5. Or you can't buy 1 spec tire. You got to buy 5 at a time.
You buy factory direct or something.
Yeah, that's true too. They should do that. Yeah. You rode with spec tires, right, Keelan?
Yeah.
Dude, so good.
It honestly though, I thought the Hoosier was really comparable. Yeah. And I actually, once I figured out what PSI to run, that was a learning curve for me, was going to other tires other than Dunlop and learning that you can't run the same damn PSI in every tire.
Yeah. Especially with the Michelins too.
Yeah. I actually liked the Michelins that I ran. I probably just didn't play around with the PSI.
I like the rear. I didn't like the front.
Yeah, I don't know their front. The rear was sweet.
Yeah, that it took me a long time to figure that out, but then once I did, I was like, damn, this is actually a really nice tire. But same thing, like it's solely built for racing. Like I took one tire out to Drumheller once, and it was toast in a moto. Like all the knobs down the middle were gone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And but like it sounds like I actually really want to try the Pirelli because I heard it's got quite a bit of compliance. I've heard some negativity from people saying that it's really sensitive on the front end, but yeah, I'd like to try that tire.
I have a couple around here. It's Dunlop or nothing. It's hard to even like find other tires.
Yeah, well, it's just because that's what everybody uses, you know. But it seems like now that people are getting more into the MXGPs, that Pirelli's starting to kind of like
they've always been.
Through. I feel like
always been around.
Dunlop did a really good job for a few years there at Supercross and Motocross of getting everybody like in the pits on that tire, so that everybody else, that's the only brand they know, right? You only see I have to run a Dunlop. Nobody else runs anything, but you
show up to a race and they change it for you.
I don't believe that it's all that much of a better tire than the rest of them. They all have their ups and downs in some way or another, right? Like some Dunlop tires are really good, sometimes the Michelin's good, sometimes the Pirelli's good, right? Even a Hoosier, like you said, I don't think a Maxxis. You can make any tire work, but they somehow got the branding locked into everybody's head for about 10 to 15 years.
Branding, just every model of tire was big. Because back when it was like you got a 952 or a 756 or like you got lost just in
numbers,
tires, right? When they just made it a 1, a 2, or a 3. It's like, well, okay, I can just pick, right? So easy.
Well, that's true though. Like with the Supercross thing, like they definitely dialed that in there with like kind of cornering the market in a way, I guess. But when they show up to the race with a rig and they'll change the tire for you, and it's at like 60% off of retail, and like why wouldn't every
privateer is going to show up with that bag tire that they practiced on, just take it, and then all you see
you see is everybody using Dunlops because it's like
tell me what happened to Bridgestone.
Bridgestone,
that was the tire at one point in time.
Yeah, like early 2000s, like Bridgestone was the tire.
They were putting Bridgestone stickers on, Ricky's Dunlops for or whatever it was. No, the other way around. But you get what I'm saying? Like, and they're non-existent anymore. Who buys a Bridgestone?
Do they even make tires anymore?
I think some of the models still run Bridgestones for stock.
The last Bridgestone I ran was on my Cowie, came stock. The Bridgestone 403 front tire. I goddamn hated that tire.
The 404 on the rear was good though.
The rear wasn't bad. I hated that front tire.
Yeah, that one sucked. That one came on a bunch of bikes.
So I heard the big thing with Bridgestone is that it was actually like Chris was saying, it was the preferred tire, but they just didn't have, well, I could be wrong on this, but from what I had understood was that they just didn't have anything like what Dunlop has, like trying to cater to the racers and having these little programs to like be in the scene and make the tire more accessible or even have really like sponsorship opportunities outside of the factory teams. And so they just kind of fizzled out. Maybe they just lost their grip on the market.
Yeah.
They also have like other markets that are way bigger and more right?
You got to think like
it's just like Suzuki with the motocross segment. Like they sell so many cars in Japan and Asian market that they don't give a shit about nothing. They sell so many boat motors. What is this motorcycle? We don't care.
Yeah.
You think the same thing with Honda though, but Honda's still like heavily invested in moto.
I think they've hired probably just a dedicated team of.
But they sell a lot of moto bikes. Right? Like Honda guys are die hard.
They're also selling XR50s and trail bikes, and they're selling for the whole family and stuff.
Yeah. That's probably their biggest.
Suzuki's lineup kind of been
shrunk. At one point in time, right? They had the JR50, JR80,
the DRZ 110.
Like they had the whole family bike, right? Yeah, they had the whole entry level woods bikes. I guess they still got the DRZs and stuff. They just don't. They're not updated, right? So that's
all
what's
the
happened in the
old
last
casting.
a few years. But
well, it's just even little things like plastic updates.
Yeah.
My mechanic in 2020 works for a plastic company on the island. So Graham Scott, his family's or his dad's business is a plastics company, and then my mechanic Alex worked for them, and they were saying to redo a mold or to make a mold would cost about $1 million.
Oh,
so it's like they want to know
a giant block of. I don't think they can use aluminum, so they got to mill a giant block like steel for those big.
Yeah, well, they say they start out with wood to like test it.
Oh, a bunk kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then when it's more permanent, I think they go to some sort of metal.
That's got to be like all in the R&D, everything.
Yeah. Well, he said like before you even get something to the shelf, it's about $1 million.
Yeah, I've been thinking of how I want to make a business. How I cut the roof off the banana van and it went great. I need to redo it because it's not that great, but it went great.
Well, you want to redo what? You want to do the top or just?
I'm gonna redo the top because it's.
Come on, man! We spent so much time epoxying that thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it as is, just the top. Someone will want it, and I'm gonna redo it the way I should have done it. A lot of little details, but like I want to somehow do production at something like that.
Like just build the jig. What the hell was that noise?
Yeah, yodeling or something upstairs. I don't know what the ladies are doing up there.
It was whiskey.
Oh, it's a dog. Yeah, but same thing. To make a mold, you gotta make a decent product. So how many prototypes you make before you even decide to duplicate it?
Yeah.
So
and then to make a mold for my little like backyard garage business or whatever I want to do, like the dollars just count up.
So this is exactly where any employee always says, "Oh, I could run the."
Yeah.
Put up the upfront work time cost.
Yeah.
Risk involved in setting up molds for a plastic company, setting up whatever rooftop thing, whatever you want to call it, even trucking, right? You got to buy a truck, you got all this. So any business has that upfront cost, right? And that's what people need to realize. That's why you got to pay for this shit. It may seem like, oh, look at this glass. This only had $10 put into it and you paid $45. Well, you're paying for the mold. You're paying for the shit.
And you realize that too with like when I go to I build a lot of like my own shit or build like garage shelving and my workbench and everything like that. Dude, that shit takes a ton of time. Like when I'm working at the shop and I'm building stuff like that, like I have someone cutting the material for me, and then I get the material and I assemble it.
The drawings are there.
And then someone else is painting it, and someone else is there's so much time. And that's a well-oiled machine that does it every day. When you're just picking up building this topper for your van or like a table for your house or whatever, like you've never done that before, so you got to figure out how to like.
Kind of took as long as I kind of thought it was, but I was hoping it was going to take less time.
Because you're paying for expertise on this stuff too.
Yeah, there's a lot of time scratching your head thinking of what you're going to do next for figuring out stuff, right?
Yeah, but there is something to be said for like gaining that knowledge and streamlining that process too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so just to go off like why stuff costs so much, like I heard about this vaccine or some kind of medication.
Don't even bring that. Don't use the B word. We're gonna get kicked off of YouTube, bro.
Some kind of medicine,
medical injection.
But it was for like some kind of blood sickness.
Okay.
And some dude in BC, I think, in Vancouver, found a cure to this thing. But to get it through FDA and all those things cost millions.
Yeah.
So I think he had to sell it to someone else to push it through. And it got through. But it was going to cost like $1 million a dose.
Jesus.
Because there wasn't enough people who had that sickness to make it to pay itself off.
What a shame, man.
Right? It's so never going to pay off that investment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
At
really
that point,
weird.
just do it out of your garage.
Yeah, just like give the chemical formula, post it online, and say, give her shit.
Yeah. And to add on to that, like the inflation and
dude,
my God, it's my God,
it was just really crazy that like, and it's not because some dude is being a total asshole about it, but like seriously, someone had to put $10 million into like getting this drug certified, right?
Yeah.
And if there's only gonna be like 100 cases of it a year or something, like how much can you? You're never gonna get that return.
Yeah,
so,
I guess that's why you never see real big cures for these like rare diseases and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
Yeah, I don't know, it's wild. What's your guys' take on the Bogle Barsha incident? Did you guys see the photos?
Bogle Barsha.
Yeah. Remember when Bogle was lapped down and cleaned Barsha out?
What?
Dude.
We watched it together.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You guys keep going.
For some reason, I don't.
I
just thought maybe I was watching my fantasy was shit in the bed. I was kind of chapped.
I feel like
I got 35 points in the 250 class.
Oh yeah,
I got hammered.
That was a bad night for you. Well, when you don't have, would you have one guy in the class?
I had 2 guys, and one of them DNF'd. I think.
When I'm pulling up the.
You're pulling it up.
I want to say it was my all-star.
We'll pull up the Barsha picture on Bogle first, so Todd can get some perspective.
Where was that? Hold on. Just don't switch to this thing.
No.
I gotta find it.
No, let's just show everybody your passwords in search history here.
Well, nah, it's fine, but.
Does
it? Where'd you see the pictures?
So
where'd you see the
pictures?
pictures?
Yeah, the picture was somewhere.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, but
that one in that LCQ, they kind of just staged it like it was going to be a great takeout. But that thing with Enteknap and Brees, where like it looked like Enteknap was a lap down, gonna just stuff him in a corner, but he crashed on his own. Oh, it's so good.
Brees's send through the whoops to like double front flip was unreal.
Yeah, Brees was the highlight.
Did you guys see the A-Ray attempt on Freddie Norton?
Yeah, I got that right here. I'll pull it up right now. Oh wait, hold on. Why is it playing? I don't want volume. Give me that. Get that volume out of here. Okay. It's ready.
Okay. Play that. This is the A-Ray.
Okay.
Oh.
We'll replay it again.
Like nowhere even near.
Watch. Boom! Just like a straight T-bone.
A-Ray?
A-Ray's there. Freddie's there.
It's like he wasn't even really trying to turn.
I think he tried to semi-back out of it halfway through, but...
What's A-Ray? I thought A-Ray was on a Yamaha.
Yeah, this is Todd's reaction. What?
He's on a Honda. Yeah, it's nuts.
Why did I think he was on the Yamaha?
He used to be once upon a time. Okay, I gotta find this.
That was a dumb move, though.
Oh, it was the stupidest move I've ever seen.
I think
that was like, oh shit, and just hit him. Didn't even think about it, right? It's like, I'm not really gonna get this done.
I get the Bogle thing though. Like, it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't catch it on TV for the fans to see it, but
like the Barsha portion or the the Bogle hitting Barsha or Barsha hitting Bogle?
Bogle hitting Barsha, but it's unfortunate that they didn't catch Barsha in the first place.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I get it. It's like you get so sick of taking shit that you're just like, screw it, like. You don't even care about messing up that guy's night.
No, and the guy who dishes it out every night too, right?
Yeah, especially you look up and you're like, this guy, really?
The funny thing was, like, the incident happened, and it seemed like neither of them paid any attention to it till it, like, hit social media, right? Bogle just rode off. Barsha just got back on his bike and kept, pinned it down the whoops and kept going and had a fairly decent race after that.
Yeah, and then somebody on Twitter was like, oh, that was intentional? What?
Yeah.
And then it just blew up.
Yeah.
But it's like the Supercross media is doing a good job of
leaning into the drama.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're TMZing it up hard this year. It is good.
I don't like it.
Or even
I don't want motocross to turn into WWE wrestling.
Yeah. Or they're fanboying or trying to turn everybody to fanboy on Jet Lawrence so hard. He's like the Justin Bieber golden child.
We got to ease up on Yeah, that's exactly the Justin Bieber of
Jeez.
motocross.
Totally.
I can't find
Hunter Lawrence, the brother of Jet Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's like, what? He's his own guy.
I'm kind of hoping Hunter can pull off a win here this weekend.
I'm rooting
shortly. I'm rooting.
I want Craig to win the title, but I would like Hunter to win that.
Yeah, I think Craig's pretty much.
Dude, he came from last to third.
Unless he fucks it up again and crashes going, like he did last year.
Even still, he's still gonna. Well, did you see his thing into the nets today?
No, did he?
Dude, he yarded into the nets today.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. What, is it press day?
Yeah, press day. I don't know. I gotta find.
Like the nets over the berm?
Yeah, he like.
Dude, apparently those things have saved so many guys, so many bikes.
Yeah.
I think they're a good idea.
I remember I went to A1 one year, and it wasn't like the nets that they set up. It was like the back catcher's net, like in the stadium.
Oh, okay.
And a bike got hung up in it, and they had to cut it out.
No way.
Yeah, that was years and years ago.
Jeez. But that's kind of like Craig's deal, though, is he's always been a bit of a head case, and he's admitted to it too.
Yeah,
but maybe after like last weekend's performance, maybe he's just starting to believe. He's like, man, I am the guy this year. Like, I'm on fire.
Yeah.
So maybe he can recognize
how could you not at this point?
Yeah. But maybe he can recognize that he could back it down just a smidge.
I don't think
that's what I'm thinking.
Down,
but maybe maybe that's true too. Maybe
look at like every time you hear a guy say, "Oh, I back it down," he ends up either on the ground or in 12th place, right?
And that's true too.
It's such a fine line to dance, I think.
Yeah. Because if he does back it down, maybe he'll start getting into his head.
Right.
So,
well, and when you're so used to things coming at you at a certain speed and your reactions go like I'm speaking from bullshit sitting on a couch, but like, to me, your reaction time is used to a certain thing happening at certain speeds, and you back it down even 10%. Now your natural instinct to it is slightly off, or you maybe leaned into
harder.
it just a half second too soon now because the bike wasn't quite.
So it's like that feeling that like.
So the pressure's still on, I guess, for him.
It's like that thing.
I hope
personally.
So.
It's like that last moto or end of the day thing that you're like, one more kind of thing, right?
Another one.
You just like you think, I'm just gonna tone it down a bit, and those are the ones that get you.
That's why
I took a digger on the pump track at Beeline. I told Chris about this. I was pumping the rollers, and I was trying to do 2 or 3 of them, and I kind of got it a few times, and I was like feeling all right. Like I had to bail out one time, but I caught it with my feet. And then end of the night, go pump 1, 2, and then like loop out like right to the back. You could I almost bounced off the plywood.
Oh yeah, I've done that a few times there.
Oh man,
okay,
it was
why
rough.
is riding BMX bikes just so sketchy? I don't know. There's something about you got that up there. Okay,
I got the Bogle. This is the
Bogle.
This is the picture of Barsha taking out Bogle. There's a sequence of it somewhere. I can't find it, but he cleans his clock.
Yeah, well, the bike almost goes like right on top of the berm.
Yeah. And then, I'll find Bogle.
The bike's like blown out from underneath him. It's like the tablecloth trick where Barsha just whipped the bike out underneath from Bogle, and Bogle was still just right there floating in the air.
I gotta find the Bogle's takeout.
I think it's safe to say Barsha is the dirtiest rider in races. Did
you guys listen to Bogle's interview on Pulp?
No, I heard it was good though.
It was so good.
It was pretty honest.
Holy shit, it was good. I'm a big fan of Bogle. I know him from back in the day, but he was always super cool dude. But yeah, he's just a real guy.
Yeah. I like Barsha too.
Yeah, nothing against him.
Like he has his place, and it's like a good place in the scene. He's that guy that's like he's just gonna rub elbows to make it happen.
What I love about Barsha, every time he'll get it'll be someone like Tomac coming through the pack, just blowing everybody's doors off, and then he'll get the Barsha roadblock for even if it's only a few corners, but then if Tomac or whoever gets him next corner, he's sticking it in again. He wants more every time. This
is my love-hate relationship with Barsha. I hate that he pulls these greasy ass moves on guys like Bogle when they're not really called for. I'm fine with I like rough riding.
Hard racing is good. Yeah,
but greasy shit. Yeah, let's leave that at the dinner table. But my love part about Barsha is fuck, the guy's a fierce competitor. Like, he's fiery, never gives up. Like, and his attitude about it, honestly, you gotta love it, because he's just like, oh yeah, sick. It was sick, man. The race was sick.
Good racing, hard racing.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the Tomac Barsha thing last year when Tomac's like, dude, have you ever made a clean pass ever? And Barsha's like, are you talking about this year?
That's funny.
Okay, I got this. I got the takeout app.
Okay. Let's pull that up.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Okay,
yeah. Bogle coming.
He's just chilling and he's
lap down. Dude, that was the best executed takeout I've ever seen.
He barely even had to put any weight into it.
That was gold.
Just pop the clutch right at the right time.
Knocked him off his rocker.
Watch it again. It's great. What? He's just like he doesn't even all the way look over.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doesn't even look.
Oh man, that was good. And then he said on the pulp show, he's like, "Man, I had so many texts and DMs saying like, thank you for finally doing something to this guy."
I mean,
that's funny.
Wow,
like you say, you get sick of a guy like that on track. Like, can't blame him.
Yeah,
I think nobody does really blame him. Like, you had to give him the penalty just because it.
It doesn't really matter at the end of the day because he was already like 2 laps down. Anyway, so
but everybody still loves Barsha. You know, it's just that's how he's established himself. Yeah. It's like Vince Freeze too, man. Like last weekend, Freeze is ripping this year.
He's riding good, yeah.
And he's a really good rider, but it takes like a lot of shit. But I think it's hard for a fan to recognize or to understand a racer's mentality and what kind of mindset they're lining up on the gate with. Yeah. And Freeze is just like,
I don't care who you are. I'm going to race the shit out of you every time, right? And that was the case with Craig in the qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just raced him the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, I'm here on the gate just like everybody else. Like,
to the point where you could clearly see it got into Craig's head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and hanging on to that podium. Like, hell yeah, I would mess with him as hard as I could.
He didn't do anything overly aggressive.
No, it was good. But he was hanging on to that third place position as best as he could. Like, good on him.
Yeah. Well, that's a big paycheck, right? The podium for him to get on the podium. Yeah. Big money.
Mm-hmm. And the fear of Tony beating the shit out of you coming back to the rig. Like,
yeah, no shit.
If you didn't hang on to it, so yeah.
Why not?
I mean, when you're all sitting on the gate at that point, you're all equal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's not like why should you bend over for Craig just because he's got the red plate, right?
Yeah, so. and it's clear that those guys race them differently, right? Like, when they come up on Freeze, they're like, oh shit, I gotta pass Freeze. It's not like just another guy on the track.
Yeah.
It's,
exactly.
What else exciting stuff's been going on in the racing? It's been a good season. Like, it's hard to keep track of it all, really.
I'm trying to find the Craig into the nets thing.
Oh, okay, from today, press day. How's you boys' fantasy? We know Todd had a rough weekend. Have you figured out this handicap system? This was a debacle at the trip that you couldn't figure this out.
No, man, I gave up after the first round.
You gave up? Oh my god!
I was sitting in 1,000th something place, and I said, "This isn't."
That's pretty good, dude. 1,000's good.
Almost 20,000. Like, I'm keeping her under the 20 grand.
I was expecting like top 100. No, it was.
Dude, gave up. It is.
That's funny. Jesus,
it is stiff competition.
Okay. I got Craig into the nets. Hold on. I'll get this volume out of here. This is nonsense. Hold on. Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's hard to see. It's small. He whiskeys big time into the net.
Your finger's covering it.
Did he jump off of the bike?
It'll go off again. Look into the corner.
Oh man.
That was like you ever seen that girl in the arena who whiskeys off the berm into the door?
The roll up door.
Sends it through the door.
Yeah, he sure grabs a handful there.
I think
he must have whiskied.
Hard.
He had to, right? Because he I don't know. This track this weekend looks pretty gnarly.
Pretty tech. I thought the last track was pretty techy.
Yeah, it was. But this one's got it seems like a lot of little obstacles that you can go like 3 or 4 on.
Yeah, there's a lot of obstacles on this track. I thought San Diego looked kind of easy. It was just the whoops were so insane.
Yeah, and that and it was so slippery, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Made it tricky, right?
Yeah, but yeah, this A2 looks technical.
Man, I'm high.
Yeah, I got to step up my fantasy game here.
What are you at? What's your overall rank?
16,000.
Ooh, rough.
Could be worse.
It's probably
worse.
better than me, actually.
You see these people, you see the low score around minus 14.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Yeah.
I
7,000.
They're probably the guys.
No, 4,000.
Those people probably picked every highest handicap they could and never got a guy in, and picked the first lap.
Well, that's the only way it's possible. You literally get nobody in, and you pick that.
yeah.
Otherwise, I guess you could have Craig with a minus, and no, he finished in points. So
No, yeah. You have to pick like, I don't know, A-Ray, Cade Clayson, a bunch of guys that don't even make the main.
Just send it. All
Just the guys on the
all
bubble.
16 handicaps on your team.
Yeah.
Just
Well, sorry, Keelan, you don't know what we're talking about, so.
Oh no, that was my game plan, was to swing for the fences. But
Didn't pay out.
Dude.
well, it seemed like it did, but I had one guy that didn't make it, and I was
Dude,
like,
I haven't even felt like I've been swinging for the fences, and I'm still getting hosed hard.
Yeah, Todd, this weekend you got to just get 8 guys
that's
in.
the
That's
top
it.
of
Get 8 guys into the main
you go.
event, and you're still.
That's what I was trying to do
when's
last
the triple? I feel like Todd will win the Triple Crown weekend.
Next weekend, Glendale.
Glendale. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see if I can pull it out for that weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta break the 10,000 mark here.
Yeah. I've been over 200 every weekend, I think, though, which is decent, but I'm still in like 4,700.
Yeah.
Man.
I think I dropped down a bit this last weekend.
Man, I'm like, I never
Dude,
have.
were you were top 100
I was
for a weekend or
top
two?
300 there.
Top 300,
Yeah.
oh.
So I was up there, but
that's pretty good.
gotta get.
I can't believe how many people are in that. That's
There's
awesome.
25,000 probably now, but that's crazy.
And
Yeah,
that's
but
just one pool too. That's just one.
Man, imagine like all the people that picked Anderson last weekend.
685 right
oh my God, they're just screaming at their television as there's bike smoking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What
brutal.
the fuck?
I actually, man, I was pretty hyped on Anderson coming in because I felt like the whole monster scene would be good for him, and it would just like be good vibes.
Him and Dirt Shark, Team Fried.
Yeah,
Dirt Shark,
Team Fried, and it's just that like I think when a racer's like got the good vibes, they're just gonna ride to their potential.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was gonna be good this year,
Mhm.
and just to see that he could basically be a championship threat, and then for that to happen,
Yeah.
oh, such a bummer. But I saw somebody, it might have been on Twitter, they had suggested with the COVID situation going on that racers might not be able to finish or be able to compete in certain rounds if they catch COVID.
Unless you have a fake Vax card.
Well, yeah, but if they test positive, they can't race, like Brayton, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, but no,
and I
he
believe
had,
Freddie
like-
Noren.
But you,
You don't
don't have to test if you have a Vax card. That's the difference.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the card, you're testing every weekend.
Oh,
If you have the card, you don't have to test. If you're sick and shit, you're supposed to.
Yeah, but people
You're
are gonna
supposed to do a lot
people are
of
gonna be
shit,
like, I'm
right?
fine, I'm fine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why
I didn't know that.
That's
Yeah.
why Webb
That-
didn't say anything about him being sick at Glen or Oakland.
Because he's vaccinated.
Yeah, but then he apparently he did 4 tests on he videotaped
So-
himself doing tests.
So they're not like testing racers.
Only if you don't have a
okay.
Vax card.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
there's fake Vax cards out there, so guys don't have to test every weekend, even
Oh, okay.
though
And then
they're not.
Roxon's really the only one that has come out and said he doesn't have a Vax card. He's testing every weekend. He's calling people out that have fake Vax cards.
Oh,
I,
and he's
uh,
not vaccinated.
No, he said no. He said his doctor told him not to.
Well, anyways, I was gonna say that somebody had suggested that there would be a do scratch rounds. So basically, get rid of your worst weekend.
That would make
And I
sense
was
in this
in
climate.
this-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually good.
Which I thought that was a great idea. It would help out a guy like Anderson.
For a series that's already 17 rounds,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, and you could potentially sit out multiple times if you catch COVID, especially when you're going to a stadium and you're exposed to fans.
And you don't want to pass it around or whatever, right?
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, fuck it.
Did you hear about? I heard about a story in Vancouver that people were paying homeless people to get vaccinated
and give them their ID.
Yeah,
oh,
to
does
get
not surprise
a
me.
vax card.
No way. Wow.
Good move. Smart move.
Yeah,
Amazing, eh?
not like can't argue with that logic. That's
People are
pretty ingenious.
It's a lot. Seems like a lot of hassle though.
Yeah,
honestly.
no shit, right?
Honestly, I'd rather just not go to restaurants. I'm good.
Yeah, like well,
Yeah, but
we
you're
do know
vaccinated.
people.
Yeah, but I've
Couple
used my
people.
Vax card one time.
Once. Oh,
One
I've
time.
had to use it way more.
We've only gone to a restaurant once, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I had to use it a couple times. It's kind of annoying, but whatever.
If we talk about boosters, I will not be.
Yeah, I think I don't think I have a hard time seeing them getting everybody behind the boosters.
I don't think they'll do that in Alberta.
I think they twist everybody's arm enough with 2.
Yeah.
I doubt they're gonna get.
Some people are. Some places are.
Yeah. Some people will,
Yeah.
but I just don't think.
Yeah, you're always gonna have
Most
the divided
people won't.
opinion.
Yep, and that's fine.
So but yeah, I don't know, this tough predicament, but
Yeah, probably shouldn't get too deep into this. We're gonna
Yeah.
get kicked right off of
But,
this YouTube. But
Yeah.
should we said we were gonna talk about the Canadian moto stuff
Yeah.
a bit, eh?
Yep,
Because we're felt that there could be a chance that a bunch of Americans might not come up.
yeah, that's what it sounds like. So it sounds like okay. Let's run through the teams real quick. So we got Tanner and Dylan Rempel on Cowie.
Cowie.
Which
That's
what a
it.
shake-up drop that was.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Who's this?
I
Dylan
kind of
Rempel?
expect.
Is he the mini kid?
Yeah, now first year he's intermediate, I guess.
Well, I'm
As
surprised.
an intermediate, he's on a team.
Yep.
So is he legit? Like, is he
Is this a-
McNabb?
I don't think
Like-
it's too early to say.
I think he'll be quick.
Yeah.
Like, I think he'll be fast. But I was surprised that they didn't try to fill that 250 position with a pro.
Why not put Tanner in that spot?
Well, Tanner wanted to go to 450.
He did want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd Welton end up?
Nowhere.
I don't think Welton's coming back. I know he's like kind of poking around
Or
to see.
You're thinking there's no Americans coming up? Eh?
No, yeah, I don't. There's literally like one team spot left open, and it could potentially go
What
to
about?
an American.
You think any American would come up private wise?
Yeah,
that
for sure.
that would be
For
the
sure.
only thing is
no like big
privateer.
name guy. I don't think
No.
though.
But
No, it'll be.
it-
But there's always like a 3-digit pro down there that comes
Yeah.
up.
Does
Yeah.
pretty well.
And-
Top fives. Yeah.
And well, just has a great time up here, right?
Yeah, but as
Sometimes
far as
they
teams,
stay for years, right?
yeah, as far
Okay.
as teams though, like I don't think we'll see too many Americans, which is kind of cool. It's
Yeah, I think it's awesome. All Canadian series.
but
so,
it's opening the door. Like if that trend kind of sticks, you know, like if the Canadian talent keeps progressing and there's not much of a need for Americans to kind of dabble around in our market,
Yeah.
then it starts opening the door for more Canadians. Like
Yeah. How I just. Yeah.
pull that
I
mic
think
up.
the
Todd.
area-
Pull that mic up. Pull that mic up.
The era we were racing in was like flooded with.
We're the leading edge era, right? Where they're like so quick to grab Paul Tellys and Strobergs and all those guys, right?
Yeah.
I think it's great for it. It would have been great for guys like us back in the day to have, like, if it was all Canadian, we would have had a way easier time getting our foot in the door to go do something, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this is the
I don't
point.
even know if it's that, but it just maybe it's a trend, and if the trend trickles down to what I find funny is like small places like Devil's Lake will hire random pros.
Al Dick will
from down
hire-
south, right? That's what's weird to me. Like to me, it makes sense with the big team, but
Who-
it makes way less sense when you got PRMX.
Yeah,
Finding
no, you're
guys,
totally
yeah.
right. You're right.
Who's Al Dick got this year?
I don't know anything
Piccolo?
about.
Oh,
Sorry.
come on, you're our inside source here.
Not me. I have nothing to do
You're
with
the
Al
Al
Dick.
Dick whisperer.
I know he's Sky Racing's no longer with the team, and he or Sky Helicopters. Sorry, isn't he still calls himself Sky Racing, but that's all I know. And I know they're trying to find a PR manager or a sponsorship manager.
Ooh, that's a tough gig. That's a job
I know the
nobody
person
wants right now.
I know the person that was offered the job and declined.
Yeah, it's a tough gig right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, so I guess there's more than one position open.
Well, if you count Sky Racing, sure.
Yeah.
But
so
is Piccolo riding?
Piccolo's KTM, factory KTM with Pettis and Racine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that should have been last year.
He signed
on that bike last
he
year.
should have been. He signed that deal. They gave him the championship bonus. They signed the night before. Said if you sign with us right now, we'll give you the championship bonus.
Oh, that's a pretty fucking sweet deal.
Yeah, it's like kudos to them, right? Because they didn't have to do that.
No, and well, that's what you got to do to get guys,
But
right? If you want a rider,
do you think that if they didn't do that, right, showed no support to him all year? I know halfway through they started stepping up and getting.
He would have said yes.
Stuff,
he would have said yes the next day.
But
for sure.
If he didn't get all this stuff, no help, no support, let's say KTM kind of did just turn a blind eye to him all year, he wins the championship. Kawasaki comes to him with an offer. Honda comes to him with an offer. Do you think he would stay with KTM?
He'd be quicker to jump ship, though. I think he would be quicker.
I would definitely think twice about going to a team that didn't even want to help you succeed on their brand. I think
there's just more resources there.
Well,
true.
I think the Honda teams looks pretty.
Yeah. So, but what's the Cowie team?
Pull your mic up again there.
Pull your mic up, Todd. Get your shit together, bro.
Refund that.
Am I just running on a line here? Or what?
Pull this.
Refund that so she's tightened up a bit. No, wrong way. Yeah. There we are.
There we go. Yeah. We got $20. We got $12 booms in there. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Nice.
Continue.
Okay.
So
what was it going on?
You're talking about Cowie,
KTM resources. Yeah.
What is the Cowie team? Who is the Cowie team?
Huber
again.
Cowie would have the most resources out of any team.
Because it's like
because they have Pro Circuit in their back pocket.
And they just have stupid money.
Yeah.
It's more of like a
but I think
privately funded team kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just that's like any team in Canada. It's just
good private funding.
One guy or a family that just loves moto and they want to run a team.
What do you think a team in Canada needs to run a series? Like, so let's say, for example, a team in the States needs $2 million, $3 million to do the series seriously.
Way more than that, I think.
Okay, well, throw a number out
in Canada.
What would it take in Canada? What would it take?
Because it's like $100,000 a rider.
Well, I guess it depends on like what do you really need, Like
I mean, I'm not talking about paying rider contract.
Okay.
Just bikes, trailer.
That's what I meant.
$100,000, all that shit. What do you think it takes to just do the series sans rider? If you technically got a rider for free.
But so like factory wise, privateer wise,
factory ride.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like. Because they're like 101s doing it on pretty
shoestring budget.
Do you call that factory though?
They're the factory.
I mean, they're the factory team. But
I always heard that you pay $20,000, $25,000, you got on a team. So
that was back in
the
the
budget
day,
for a rider?
I
don't know, right?
KTM used to do that.
Yeah, was that the budget for a rider?
Leading Edge did that. I'm sure they picked up extra slack too.
Mm-hmm. That's relatively inexpensive to do the series on that.
You couldn't
series of equipment.
That's the thing. Well, so many people, so many privateers that I talk to are like, "Fuck, man, maybe I should just drop the 25K, get on the team."
That's what Spenny did. That's what lots of people did.
Yeah, it made sense, right?
Well,
Spenny at the end was like a threat, a title threat. He just never put his shit together.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like there's been a lot of people who just pay and get on, and it makes sense. It really does.
Mm-hmm. You had something to say, Keelan?
Crickets.
Yeah. I was.
We're all just staring at Keelan waiting for
I was just gonna say, like, let's say back to Chris's question, I think for like Sky Racing, like let's say you're gonna have two riders, sure, maybe both on 250s or one 250, one 450. It's so two bikes. For 250, what that would be $10,000 all said and done.
Two bikes for two racers or one?
No, two bikes for a 250 guy. Let's say two bikes for a 450 guy. So it's like $10,000 or 20 grand all said and done for 2 bikes for 250.
Yep.
Okay.
Then 25 grand or maybe even more all said and done for a 450. So what are you at there? 45, 50 grand after taxes just for bikes.
Yeah.
Austrian bikes.
These are built by like motor.
No,
that's
wheels.
just stock.
That's stockers.
That's just stock.
All right.
Okay,
So
when I rode for Sky, they had a $200,000 budget from, or they had $200,000 from Sky, like Sky helicopters.
it's that honestly, that's probably one of the highest sponsor contracts out of any Canadian team in moto.
Yeah, but he spent $100,000 and some on the awning. Not to blow him out, like I knew exactly what I was getting into. Like I paid for my own flights and shit like that, but he paid for a lot of other stuff. But
yeah, that's what comes
flights
back
and
to startup fee though, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're starting
and it
a
looks
team,
good
it's gonna
now.
be-
And
No,
he
it's a
has
sick
one of
awning.
the, he has one
There's
of the most
something to
bitchin'.
said about looking good at the presence at the track is going to attract someone to come ride for you, fans to
That
come,
just
the next
function, right?
sponsor to come over and want to put their right. So I laugh at him spending the money on the awning,
but
Dude.
but also
it
he had
could pay off.
he had whole shot and Honda paying for the bikes.
that.
there you go. Yeah.
But that's still, that adds to it, like sponsorship that's sponsorship dollars. That's still income to the team.
Yeah, for sure.
That has to be accounted for
It's
at
hard.
the end of the year. And but I mean, it takes an army to get to the races nowadays to even be competitive. And to touch on Al there a little bit, like to be fair to him, I think that's how we should, or every team should go to the races.
You're right.
And invest more into the actual program and the riders.
Yep.
So
Agree.
why does a Canadian team have the semi? Because it looks bitchin', it's cool,
does.
right? Like, but
Is it
why
better?
do they have it? Do they?
I think that's just the standard. Like it's like,
Do you
okay,
think it's like having a Dunlop tire?
Yeah.
You gotta
it
look
is.
like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
right.
I
for
think
sure.
so.
And we're following suit with the U.S. and that's just how you gotta look.
And
if you're the
I
the
agree
premier
with
thing.
it. If like in the States, it makes sense. Over MXGP, it makes sense because the dollars are there, the people's there. Like you're saying over here, why are we not all in something just a little more reasonable?
Well, even in GPs, because they go from country to country and continent to continent.
Yeah.
They have they don't have rigs. They have like sea cans and
Get that.
they have like sea cans and all kinds of weird stuff going on. They have containers and tents and I think half of it. I don't know. I would think that like the GP series has like set up pits, or I don't know.
Or they borrow semis off of other teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When they go to Argentina, like they're not bringing their whole semi, right?
Well, no,
But yet
they have special boxes. They ship all their stuff. Transport companies deliver everything
But you
to the
see,
venues.
like the Husky team had that like full glass
bitchin'
Yeah,
sea
that's-
can
that
looking
thing's
thing.
next
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
So they ship that obviously to round, don't
Yep.
they? That you
Yeah.
ain't renting
Yeah,
that
they ship
off
all their
something,
stuff
right?
in
So I guess we're
They ship everything in. That's their shipping container.
I would
I
guess.
Is that
don't
what you're
know,
saying?
No.
Well,
that's
they
just
haven't
their
done
truck.
that. They haven't done that since they started doing that glass thing. The Husky
Yeah, but
team.
when they're going overseas, everybody's going in boxes, like
Yeah.
in
Okay.
crates.
So that rig doesn't go.
No, everybody's going in crates. Like it's all, and they
Because
all
like
got
that's
like
just their
special,
hospitality rig, right?
well, they probably get like a
like the big
small
glass
sea
thing.
can.
The big glass
No,
thing,
that's where they pit out of, the big glass thing.
But that would go through like Europe. That would go through Europe pretty easy.
Yeah.
You're
wouldn't
sure
it?
they're not taking that around? Like
I haven't seen it.
I'm just trying to remember if I've seen it in some like pit report or something.
3/4
like that,
of the
'cause
rounds are in like Central
I know.
Europe. So
That's why I'm saying I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen it in a pit report or something outside of Europe. Now,
No, everybody goes in crates
That's what-
overseas.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about like when they did the Mexican GPs or the Argentina GPs or anything like
So
that.
they're not in rigs, or you think they're just borrowing some local race team rig?
Well, I know like for the really remote ones, like I think like Argentina's super remote,
or
and there's-
Indonesia would be a weird one, right?
Yeah, and then I think I don't think they take rigs to Turkey.
No, they definitely wouldn't.
So how they
Um,
pit and just
Well,
throw a easy up and
so they take the crates. I think they contract like a specific trucking company to bring the crates in, and they all just like pull all their crap out of the crates
I feel like they've got definitely more of a professional setup than that.
Well, I think,
some of the venues they'll set up big.
I've seen those crates that are talking about. It look like what like concert would use.
Yeah, true. I guess
But I think. Yeah, it's either Turkey or Argentina. Like they set up like those big like party tents and stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks professional, but it's like they're utilizing what's there.
Yeah.
But Giuseppe also like subsidized that stuff, does he not?
He would have to.
He pays
like,
the teams, or he shares the funds somehow.
Or like he has a pit venue set up.
Otherwise,
I don't know.
Yeah. Otherwise, how would you convince all these teams to go to Argentina for one round?
Well, I think that's a bit of
bring it to Calgary.
So I don't know, but that's been a bit of the challenge with the MXGP
That's
series.
why you're only getting big teams to go. Is they're the only ones.
Because they're the only ones that have the money. Because some of them are like bankrupt after 6 rounds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's that weird team that runs
there?
A Yamaha 250 2-stroke, and they like pull it apart. And
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh, fantastic.
No, it's a real bike brand.
It's a Yamaha.
They bought the license to use Yamaha's motor and chassis and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It would be like
they won the championship this year.
The EMX 125.
They won the EMX class.
Yeah.
It's so
fantastic.
So weird to me. Like you see it in so many other industries. Like you hardly ever see it done like that.
Yeah.
In moto.
There's another brand that's kind of like that. What's the name of the electric bike? Not the new one.
Or the Alta?
Alta.
Yeah.
They ran a Honda frame. And,
Yeah. Basically, KTM forks and suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, that was electric.
KTM's forks, and just I guess they bought the company now, but it wasn't theirs at one time, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
KTM was doing what Alta was doing. They were just piecing the bike together.
Like Cowie and Suzuki at one point.
All Chinese bikes are just old Honda bikes, right?
I mean, is it wrong to say everything Chinese is kind of just
Honda,
something found from somewhere else?
Yeah.
Just remade.
It is true though. All the Chinese bikes are basically like built after
CRF 110,
XR50.
Well, because what they do is they wait for the patent to run up, and then boom, they just build a copy. They build a cheap copy and
send it to Canadian Tire.
There you go.
Yeah. You even see like PW50. The PW80s was called the Baja 80.
The Baja, we sold that. I worked at Canadian Tire when I was 14. Baja. We sold the Bajas. Heavy, big seller of the Bajas. The Baja.
PW80s are sick. Have you ever ridden one?
No.
Oh man, they're badass. I would pick a PW80 over like a CRF 110 any day.
Dude, they got lots of top end. I know that.
Oh, they just zing and whine and they just go.
Yeah, I had the PW50. My brother had the PW80.
Yeah,
that's what we had growing up.
I had a PW50. It was old when we got it. It must have been from like the 70s. It was the yellow.
Oh yeah.
Version.
Yeah.
It had the Bob Hanna #1 on it and everything. It was quite the bike.
Man, those things super slow to the gate, but dude, they had some top end speed, dude.
Fast for like a kid's bike. Holy,
they just freewheel too.
I don't know why they still make them. Why are they still making those things?
And why are they running them at Loretta's?
There's a whole class. It's called the shaft drive.
They had the three big spokes too.
Yeah, dude, that I'm fine with, but like. At this point, why don't you just like ditch that motor and put a electric motor in it?
Really, right?
I think it's coming, man. Like I bet you a year.
I feel
or
like
two
they missed the punch, right? Like
they're probably developing something. Like they're just waiting for something, right? Like we've heard that all the manufacturers are coming out with a battery that'll be interchangeable between brands or whatever.
That's
right?
actually
that could be what they're waiting for right there. Is like, okay, who else sells a 50? Honda and
they
blah blah.
I think they've already done that for like mopeds in like Indonesia and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's like a huge moped market.
Yeah.
And scooter market, but they haven't done it.
So I got a feeling
moto.
that's all they're waiting on is something like that.
Standardized.
They've all come to an agreement. Like, we're not gonna release any bikes until such a date when we all have X technology ready to go.
Yeah,
that they're sharing.
Universal tech, right?
Yeah, and think about the price too. Like, dude, some of this KTM 50 is like $6,000.
Oh my,
dude.
Yeah, that's nice.
The electric 50 is like what? Like,
at least it's nice. Like, you get a 65 out of it too.
Yeah, you can jump. You can like change power band or whatever.
What?
Yeah,
really?
and you can change the ergonomics of it too.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So what about wheel size?
No,
that would be the only thing. Is you're still 50 cc.
So you can go from like a 50 junior to a 50 expert.
See,
basically.
that's where
but
like
it
cheating would be hard to manage.
Yeah.
On those.
Like,
I
think
mean,
about it. If you're like,
well, unless
you can boost a 50 to a 65 by like a little bit of like a software update or something.
But
I don't know if it actually has the speed of a 60, but you can make the ergonomics like a 60. Like you can jack it up, like you can change the pivot point of the swing arm, I believe, and then drop the forks down, and even you can raise the subframe. Like you can change it.
See, that's kind of cool to make like the because I was gonna say a $6,000 bike for something the kid's gonna ride 1, 2, maybe a third.
Yeah, if he gets a growth spurt, like
it could last him from the age of 2.
That would
all
be
the way
better to get several years
12.
out of this thing.
I guess that's the incentive to go that route.
Yeah.
So, have you guys seen like the Saran e-bikes?
Oh, the Storm B. Yeah.
But once I was all hot and horny over one of those, but then once that the new one, the Stark, the Varg, I was like, I gotta get one of those.
That thing looks
I do
good.
feel like
I almost put like the little deposit down because I'm like, oh yeah, just save up the money, you can get one.
Well, how do you put a deposit down?
I was just like,
what is it
on their site? I think.
Really?
The day I looked at it, it was like put down like $300 to put your name on one.
No way. I gotta get one.
Is it like a Kickstarter though?
Well, yeah, they got to make they've got their bikes made, right? Like they know what to make, but they got to still produce everything.
Okay.
So, yeah, a bit of a funding campaign, I would think.
Yeah, because those can sometimes go
but also
south,
maybe not. I think it's just they're going to be sold out, so it's like put your name on one show,
you
know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be tough to get parts for them.
Yeah.
So.
What do you need for parts, though?
Oh,
chain,
dude.
Tires.
I'd crash that thing.
Well, I guess but
plastics, anything like that would be a pain.
Apparently, the whole fairing is one piece, so it like all pulls off as one.
Huh? Cool.
But yeah, that thing's awesome.
I remember
cool.
KTM 80s came with the rear number plates and the fender all in one.
Oh yeah.
But when it came in a box, it was like flattened out and weird. and
shape it.
You basically had to
the dotted
reshape
line
it.
where to fold.
Yeah, sometimes you get one and they were mangled looking out of the box. Like, actually, they bolted on just fine, but like the ends of the number plates would like flare out like crazy.
Yeah,
it was weird. And then the fender would droop do weird stuff. But yeah, I'm actually surprised they haven't come up with a better solution than plastics.
For
maybe bikes, maybe everybody's just too stubborn to ride anything.
What are you gonna use? Some
hologram,
eco-friendly,
not
hemp paper.
Hey, I don't know.
It's disposable after each
I'm
like
thinking I'm thinking ditching plastics completely.
Yeah. Make them out of some hemp material and then give them to Stank Dog afterwards.
Stank Dog's recycling program.
Oh shit. All right. Anything else we want to touch on this?
We didn't really get into the Canadian moto, but we'll have to. We'll get back there.
We were talking about tracks earlier. Yeah. I'm stoked to see Kamloops.
Oh, dude,
back on.
I'm hyped. That's the only reason I'm like really amped up to race again this year.
Yeah. Oh, you're going racing?
I'm gonna race a couple just for fun, not for real. But
now that they're coming back out west, I might
Let's go. Let's go to Raymond tomorrow.
Raymond?
Day 1 tomorrow, Raymond.
I'm going fat biking tomorrow.
Come on, bro. Fat biking is lame. I don't have a fat bike.
That's why it's lame, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
dude, apparently Fish Creek is mint right now.
dude, yeah, I went there. Jack and I went there and we pedaled around. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. So Sam and I are gonna out tomorrow night.
Yeah, he texted me this morning. Actually, we're gonna try and go Sunday morning if you want to join.
Yeah, I think I'm good to go.
Sunday morning, fat bike racing.
Fat biking.
Dude, I'm pissed off. I cannot watch racing tomorrow night.
What?
Pissed.
Why is that?
I got a family obligation.
Oh no.
I didn't. That's like my
Well,
source
maybe.
of watching racing. I don't even know where to go.
Well, maybe I gotta be at a family thing at 5. Maybe we can be out by 7. Be watching by 8. Maybe.
Well, it could be. Well, is that it out in Strathmore?
No, we gotta go. It's an in-law thing.
Okay, so in town.
Springbank.
Not much better.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, in town. Well, you
It's
could
like 25 minutes.
you could even push her to 7:15 and get home.
Yeah.
But
Even I missed
the first 5 minutes. Kind of BS.
You gotta see
anyways.
I'm gonna be up. Because you can't rewatch it, can you?
Not
While
till
it's live.
over. Well, actually, I think it
bullshit.
even takes like till midnight or something. Like
God
it takes a
damn it.
while, man. Yeah, you'll be up.
Dude,
I know.
A2 is the most important race of the series.
This is the deciding factor. It is a known fact. A2, whoever wins this one wins
Every
the
race,
championship.
every championship,
Every
time.
race.
Every time.
Really? Is that
No.
That was the stat from last weekend where they said that
Round 3 winner.
4 of the last 5 round 3 winner has won the championship. So Chase X is winning the championship. Stamp it.
It could happen.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
The Earth is doing strange things in 2022. I don't know if you guys are having a weird start to the year, but I could see it happening with the way this year has started.
Sexton though?
Ooh,
I don't know.
man, I don't know. I find it hard to see anyone but Weber, Roxon, or Tomac at the front.
I think Webb's gonna end up doing it still. But
Yeah?
I don't know. I don't
Dude,
see it. I don't
Webb
see
You
it.
don't see it?
The last 6 rounds. That's what you gotta know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Last
he's
6
gonna
rounds.
get a chip on his shoulder here pretty quick. You know,
Dude, when he's
That was
on
like
it,
last
he is
year.
like
He was slow to start, and then
and then I think
He
people
picked it
start
up.
saying, "Oh, he doesn't got it," and this and that, and he goes, "Well, fuck you. I'll go
I
win
don't know.
this one then." And then
After seeing his outdoors last year, I was like thoroughly
But
disappointed.
when has he ever had a good outdoors?
He
since,
won a
like,
moto
250
one
class?
time. He won a
He
moto
won a
one
moto
time.
one
yeah,
time.
he hasn't been good outdoors since 250s.
I know, but why?
But he was so good in 250s.
He
too.
was
Yeah.
so sick. I was a big Cooper Webb fan back in
Let's-
when he was a 250 guy. I was
it's a
like, this
star-
guy's sick.
It's a star 250, man. Like,
that thing was a weapon.
yeah.
Anybody who rode one seemed like they were fast on that bike.
Yeah, exactly. But
is a KTM 450 not a weapon?
They're all weapons, I think, at that point, right?
You'd hope so.
It's been cool with Boston being over in Europe because I love picking at his
I
brain.
bet he's so annoyed if you text
Oh
him.
yeah, 100%.
Well, okay, what time do you
But-
text him at?
I don't know. Usually I'll text.
He's like,
him.
I don't give a shit. I'll wake him up in the middle of the night.
Well, yeah. But no, we'll like just chat, and it'll be a ongoing conversation. But we love bullshitting about just like chassis shit on bikes and stuff. But he was saying that the way the Euros set their bikes up is just so ass backwards from how the Americans do it. But he said the big struggle is that the Americans are so used to their supercross setups
Yep.
that they don't really veer too far from them.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't really like kind of venture too far into what the Euros are doing. But he said as the year goes on, the Americans start to go towards a more European setup by the end of the year. But then once the end of the year is done,
Back to Supercross.
Back
New
to
bike.
Supercross.
Well, yeah, think
everything
about like
back to Supercross.
so
yeah.
their bike is set up pretty stiff for Supercross. They only have like a week or two
yeah,
to get their bikes. They're not gonna like fucking go way off the radar, right?
Yeah,
like
it feel like a bush bike at that point.
Yeah, they're gonna just slowly creep their way back and like, okay, we'll go softer here, and then as the year goes on, they go softer and softer and softer or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, and so in the States, most of the Austrian riders or Austrian brand riders will run 1451 for gearing on their 450s. In Europe, they're running 1447 or 1448.
Is there a difference in the transmission? Like
no, it's same
Huh,
basically.
That's wild.
So they use first gear.
Yeah, that's
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
They use first, second, and third.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Just shift.
I've never even thought of using first gear.
Yeah, we ignore it completely, which is dumb. It's completely dumb.
Yeah, you always think it's first gear is just for the pits.
Yeah, and they utilize first gear because basically, so on their shift star, they just route, they make neutral almost non-existent. It's just like a tiny little notch in the shift star. So when they go to shift down, it's like very minimal chance that it's gonna catch. It's just
hit neutral,
bump right over it. And a lot of them, you'll see like any of the factory riders, they'll just shut the bike off in gear because they won't even. It'll take them forever to find neutral.
So that's probably the biggest thing between a production bike.
Yeah, so it's super easy to use first gear too for those guys.
Man, that's wild. Never even thought of that.
You watch like the Bullet episodes?
I've never. I don't know if I've actually ever. No, that's a lie. I've gotten into neutral before on the track.
A
lot of false neutral.
I can't ever think of going down to first.
Yeah.
Only on a two-stroke.
A few times, some tight.
First gear never. First gear never.
Yeah.
But two-strokes, so much different. Your finger's always on the clutch.
Yeah, same with 250s too. Like you're not gonna use first gear on a 250.
Yeah, no, not on a 252 stroke or a 250.
Either or, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. When I rode a 252 stroke, I'd find myself in first gear.
Surprising, when you're not counting gears.
I never count gears.
Depends on the track and situation. You could be in.
I was counting one day, on the hill track on one straightaway. I clicked 4 gears. One straightaway, and that was and that wasn't even the longest. So, I take it every other track you can click that many gears too.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. I used to when I was on a 65. I was so obsessed with what gear I had to jump in that I would be shift down to first in the corner, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then now I don't have any clue what gear I'm in.
It's just grab them when they feel right?
Yeah.
When you're running out of juice. Only one time I remember thinking, okay, I'm clicking another gear because I need it. And I feel like I'm going too fast already. I did. Did you ever ride Westlock?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was you're talking about the big jump before the right-hander before the finish line.
There was a big double, right?
Yeah, the big double, right-hander, left-hander finish line.
I did that on a 60.
Yeah, I did that one too. That's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, honestly, if we rode it today, it'd feel like nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's like a
60-footer or something. But it felt fucking tapped on a 60. And I remember whipping down the straightaway and it's okay, last gear, here we go. Bang. And I sent it. Oh my god, it felt huge as a kid.
Yeah.
It felt massive.
They had a split line on that jump, did they not?
No, that was
Was that Lloyd?
Lloyd.
I'm thinking of Lloyd, yeah. But yeah, that jump.
That jump's
the
changed.
Widowmaker.
That jump's changed big time,
so
hasn't it?
Lloyd Minister had the Widowmaker. I would like to go back to that track and see what it's like, because the Widowmaker was gnarly, and then they had the section you go back behind the hills. That
was a pretty cool section back there.
And you come back, and they had those
three
big jumps, and they were tapped on a 65, and it was massive. It felt massive on a 60.
I bet you go back now and you're fuck, these are tiny.
Second, third gear. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, for sure. Crazy.
Could you imagine going to Tabor now?
Oh God.
Home of Nickelback, by the way, just in case anybody doesn't.
You're thinking
Nickelback is
Hannah. That's the track.
Even worse. Even worse.
That was the one I'm thinking of. Not Tabor. Hannah.
Tabor. I remember that track actually being pretty fun.
Tabor was fun on an 80. It was a perfect 85 track. They had like those big whoops you would like double and triple through.
I even had fun on a full size bike there.
I don't think I ever rode there on a full size bike.
I definitely rode a few rounds pro there. And,
really?
Yeah, that big table that they got, like
the King Kong.
It's just to get over it completely is a stretch even on a big bike.
Yeah, that was a big jump there.
They kind of it's like such a mellow landing. There's no like definite landing.
Like,
so
that was actually a good track, I thought.
You know, it was one of the better ones.
If they got the prep right and the dirt was good, it's a fun track.
The track is actually in Hannah. It's still there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Does it ever get used?
I don't know. I've just driven by there quite a few times.
Maybe we should go there tomorrow.
I don't think so.
Jesus. Anything else we want to touch on this Canadian series?
Yeah, well, we talked quickly about a couple of the tracks.
I did think of something after we were talking about it, is that this is kind of not fair to Al Dick, is that his setup is probably more expensive than most of the semis out there anyways. Yeah. His Sprinter alone probably costs more than most of the tractor and trailers.
Yeah,
the
Sprinter plus that trailer he has plus the awning. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
that's the shape.
Like, and a lot of those rigs are all pretty old. And
does he make up for it in fuel cost? Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
With that European drivetrain, hell yeah.
Right,
yeah,
big rig is not cheap to run across country.
No, like a big rig is like
you need to
5
pay a
miles
driver.
per gallon.
Now, when it was Ontario only, I mean, not as bad. But going from the island to, and he would save huge on the ferry, I would think.
Oh yeah,
because he's not measuring per foot like they are with the semi.
Oh,
right?
he would be, but
would
it's
he?
like
he's
half.
that long?
Yeah, but it's
Well,
like
still
a
half
fraction.
yeah,
it's a fraction. Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's the hardest part is the operational costs of those things. Like, yeah, insurance and permits that you might have to have if it's depending on the spread on the axles, and then having to pay a Class 1 driver. And
who was that guy? Was it Lindsay dude?
Michael Lindsay.
Michael Lindsay. When he talked about that coming to Toronto Supercross.
Yeah.
How much of a shit show that was.
Getting across the border and...
Yeah, so apparently they had to inventory everything in the rig.
Dang.
Yep.
So a lot of the teams would just like box van it to Toronto.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to deal with that.
What was his reasoning again? I can't remember. It was they don't want you or to know that you're not coming up to sell stuff.
Yeah, I would bet that
must be.
And you have to declare anything over a certain dollar value, right?
Whatever it was, but inventorying a rig would be insane.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many little pieces and parts, and like one bolt costs $10, right?
Yeah, and then how do you put a price on some of that stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, with Canadian stuff, I think this is probably a pretty... I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it could be a pretty crucial year for the guys that have been under the radar for a long time, you know?
Yeah, like the Parker Eels and guys like that.
A new generation that thoroughly puts his foot in the door.
That would be actually pretty sweet if we had like an all-Canadian series. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And
this is the time for kids like I'll talk on some of the local kids like a Josh Gedak or like a T Parrott if they if they really want to. You know,
this is the year, right?
Yeah, like this is where they got to show what they're made of if they want to have any chance of catching somebody's eye and stuff
this
like
is
that.
The
right?
year.
So,
it's an important year,
and it's good because they won't get overshadowed by some American, and unless there's bound to be privateers that come up, but
and they're gonna have a chance in the West, which it's so hard for. It always seems like it's weird for a West guy to go East, so. And it's vice versa for the East guys, so you get a fair chance at a few rounds to
I'm just
show what you're made of.
I'm super bummed it's not there's no Calgary round. That sucks, right?
That's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah, it's like Calgary is such a staple, and it's like, man, I feel like we haven't really got the full Calgary experience in the last
How many months till the series starts?
I was gonna say something could change.
You don't think the schedule's gonna change?
April, May.
5.
I mean
4
or 5, yeah.
Not to shit on the series or anything, but
It could change.
It certainly could change.
There could be a deal that changes
right
things.
now with the way
the
things
Freedom
are,
Convoy will still be going on.
Dude, what happens if all of East Coast is gridlocked from the Freedom Convoy and they have to stay out west for the series?
Yeah, it'd be sick. We'll go Kamloops, Prince George, Nanaimo, Calgary, Drumheller, Raymond. Dude, that's a series right there.
How can you forget Hannah?
Zoda.
Zoda.
Okay, have you guys ridden? What's Saskatoon? I heard Saskatoon.
Dude, I heard it's sick.
Yeah.
Is it a big track though? I take it as kind of small.
I don't know. I heard it's sand and it's sick.
Grab a dozer, widen her up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always say. Once you're in the equipment, like it takes nothing to move over a foot.
Yeah.
Even if the line's a little weird, like you end up someone will use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's some sections that like the track's 15 feet wide.
You're not gonna use it all, but you kind of need it.
Well, sometimes like you take like a chicane, like I'm thinking of the one at Washougal, that really tight chicane.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Make that wider? No one's gonna ride it.
Yeah.
So some sections it doesn't need to be wide, but
however,
you gotta be aware to make a track without sections like that.
It could be on those days when it's super muddy that that guy ventured 15 feet wider than everybody else, or a dog pile happens because everybody followed that idiot into that one rut. There's situations. You're not using it every lap, and that's I think what makes racing different than practice day. Practice day, any track is sick.
I find practice day's tracks suck, dude.
Yeah, I'm so over it because that's the thing. Race day, there's always a line. Like you get stuck riding one line every lap, and if it's and if that line is beat to shit, it sucks. The track sucks.
But I mean, like you can just come up with some little turn here, janky, and it's fine for practice day, but you can't race shit like that. Even though everybody's only taking one line on race day most of the time.
Yeah. I just think, man, it's hard to get a big enough volume of people on a track at once to make it work, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the problem with practice days. So race day, like every moto, there's 25 guys trying to go in the same corner at once, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
First 2 laps are just making lines everywhere.
Yeah.
Or at least like putting a track on the one line somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's run through the teams real quick. So we have Pettis, Piccolo, Racine on KTM, Tanner Ward and Rempel on, is that his name? Rempel? Cowie.
Rempel, yeah. Cowie.
MX101, we have Canella, Warzina.
No.
I heard Warzina. No?
No. Canella and Moff.
That's it? You?
And there's an open spot.
Your open spot that you may or may not take?
Silence means yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay, moving on.
No.
We got Wright and McNabb on GDR.
Yeah. Quinn Amiot, Manluck.
That's it. It's him.
And there's an open position there too.
What else?
Sky Racing.
Who knows what that is? They don't even have Sky Racing.
Steve Sims, I think, is Gainer on 450s. Gibby on 250s.
That makes sense.
Bennick, PRMX.
Yeah.
Is that going to be Cowie still?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going back to Gas or not.
Yeah, because they did Cowie in the States and then Gas
in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what PRMX's program is in Canada, and if Julian's gonna go to a gas or not. And then Tyler and Yves Brodeur on Cobb Mountain.
Yeah.
What else we got?
That feels like it.
Carlson done.
Oh, Davey Fraser.
Davey.
Carlson Racing.
450?
Yeah, 450, yeah.
Every year, it bounces back and forth.
Yeah. No, I think this is his last.
We got Rhino Power team this year.
Rhino Power?
Is Unger coming back on Rhino Power? Or?
I don't know. I
heard
he was on the rigs.
Oh.
He did. I don't know, man.
All right.
I don't know. It should be interesting to I can't think of any Americans that are going to.
It's kind of cool that it might be a little more grassroots.
Yeah. That's kind of. Yeah. I think it's sick.
I think it's going to be.
Like you're saying with the rig idea, like having small rigs, grassroots. If we could build a cool pit environment around that, it would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It unfortunately, I think that's the coolest part is like it'll be grassroots and it'd be cool to see it just like
kind of core Canadian
Canadian racing, but oh man, the 450 class is going to be boring.
2-3 guys, that's it.
Yeah, I can't see Cole coming back.
What is Cole gonna do?
I think he's just doing what he wants to do, just race the indoor stuff. I think he's starting to maybe recognize that, or not so much that he's at the end of his career,
Cole's like
but
28, 29, right?
Yeah, but I think he's by the sounds of it, he wasn't having fun, and just wanted to do what he wanted to do, and
there might be another last hurrah from.
He's doing well right now. So
yeah, he's doing really good.
He should have been my fantasy pick, but
next weekend, bro.
Next weekend, yeah.
He's gonna shit the bed.
I could see Welt maybe coming back with 101, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
but I know
crossing the border sounds like a nightmare for some people. So
I think he'd stay up if he can. But I think the big thing for him is he wants to make money, and there's just not a lot of that to go around.
There's no payout, right?
You take money out of the equation. Yeah. Like so many people are out.
Well,
and you just have people who want to race.
Yeah.
So, and which doesn't change anything for privateers. So, privateers were always there racing.
Yeah. I feel
for
like
nothing, anyways.
I feel like I'm missing a team.
I feel like you are too. But you're probably not.
Who was on Honda?
McNabb and
Dylan.
Right.
Are we certain about that one?
Yes, it's done. Done deal. Yeah.
I kind of hope it changes. I hope there's like some angel contract that would floats in for Dylan.
You would think that would have to be a done deal for him to go MXGP because they're starting their series in
this month.
Next week.
2 weeks, right?
Really? Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh, this is not gonna happen.
It had to take Mitch Evans to crash or whatever his problem is again, and then he gets him.
that would be sweet though, but
dude,
I don't know.
Really?
Maybe it's
2
just
weeks away from starting?
It's quick here.
What's their first round?
February.
So it might be more than 2 weeks, but it's soon.
Do they start in Great? No,
I think Matterley Basin's the first round.
Really?
I'll pull it up.
I would have thought they would start in maybe like southern Italy or some shit.
I don't know, but I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I thought Matterley Basin was the first round.
Is that the track that they always race at in Britain?
Yep.
So yeah, Great Britain is the 20th.
Oh wow, so in a month.
Yeah.
February 20th, and then
less than a month.
Mantova, Italy.
2 weeks.
Argentina. Then they go straight to Argentina, Portugal.
And it's super mild climate there, right? It's like Vancouver. So they can get
in England.
Yeah, so they can get away with it at that time of year.
I think it's a little kind of cold, but
yeah.
I'm surprised they picked that though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed that.
Dude, I wonder how they deal with like jumping borders and racing and everything.
Man, it's gotta be a shit show.
Holy.
Sure, it's easier now with the EU than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still going to Argentina and every other place.
Dude,
every flight is still probably a pain.
Just adjusting to the time change has got to be nuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are on a different planet, man. As far as racing goes, that's cool, you know, like that in F1. Those guys are like living the dream as an athlete, like traveling the world, going to like exotic locations. Really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they probably still get stuck in the loop where they just fly in, go to the hotel, go to the track.
Yeah, for sure.
Home. Yeah. I saw a thing on a BMX rider who had been traveling everywhere doing street parts. Literally has hit every continent. minus the Arctic.
Yeah.
But has done basically all of it. It looks pretty rad. Has not made a dime at it though. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
You made it up in experience.
At least he's living
Exactly.
his dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has stories to tell. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Slept on like countless floors everywhere
Yeah.
to do it, but yeah, pretty rad.
Sounds like the Alpinist, that show. Was that on Amazon or something?
Amazon, yeah.
Dude, that show was nuts.
Yeah.
A show?
We watched it together.
Oh yeah, we did. Holy, that was nuts. Yeah, dude lived in a tent basically all his adult life.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Crazy shit.
Yep.
Anyways,
It shows you just live your life how you want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's a beautiful life.
It's
Live
a
the life you
beautiful
love.
life.
Live the life you live.
Take a lesson from Yashik. It's a beautiful life.
Mm-hmm.
We should definitely get Yashik back on here.
Oh yeah.
We should do it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it. We'll plan it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, what time would it be there?
We have to do like an early morning one, and then he'd do like a nighttime one, I think.
Oh, that's how it would work.
All right.
Smooth.
Peace.
I like that.
That was good. All right.
Yeah. Well, thanks, boys. That was a good.
That was a good one.
That
That
was
was fun.
Yeah. A little catch up at 2022 right now.
Mhm.
See you guys.
Sweet.
Bow, bow.